Are you done?
No. I'm done.
I don't want to interrupt you.
I didn't realize you were hitting start.
Well, now that we know that Gives You Hell is from
All
American
Rejects.
I thought it was Weezer, and then I thought it was Green Day. I was wrong.
Do you have that time to listen to me, Wayne?
Anyway, so hi everybody.
Hey.
Are we doing this?
Yeah,
Are
we're
we
gonna do
starting this?
Yeah, we're just gonna jump right in.
Okay.
Welcome to episode 5 of the It's Fine
Vlogcast.
Vlogcast. We should create that as like a thing.
Like
Vlogcast.
We made it. We originated it.
Yeah,
That's not true.
we are the originators of
did.
vlogcasting. Welcome. So, we did what we said we were going to do. We did not talk about what we were going to talk about, we didn't talk about it. We established, does this all this matter? We're going to talk about, like, something that happened today, last night, actually, probably, 12 hours ago?
Probably.
12 hours ago, we were just confirming that we were still meeting, because we have to do that because we forget, and then we were deciding on where we were going to meet, and she said, how about we meet at Panera, because this might be the last time I can eat their breakfast for a while.
You also need to know we've been meeting at Panera for 4 years, with the exception of a little bit.
Like,
that was clear as mud.
Yeah, so pretty much 95% of the time that we've met in the last 4 years have been at Panera.
Yeah.
For bread and things. So anyway, I was like, oh, and I kind of, why, just why, curious, and she says,
because it might be the last time I get to have it for a month.
Because
I have got to kill the diabetes.
She actually did, and then there are means and such to follow. But the funny thing is what she didn't know is that a mere couple of hours prior to that, I'm detailing my September, mine and my husband's, by the way, September meal plan, exercise plan. Like, we are straight up, like, nixing everything.
Yeah.
My reasons are different than hers, but the fact that we both were planning to do the same exact thing during the same exact time is just wild.
This was my plan.
Hold on, you got a white balance. There you go. You got a white balance.
So I was writing all of this out, and she had written, well, she did hers on.
I did mine on the intranet,
interwebs. Professional.
It ain't professional.
It's professional.
But anyway, so I was like, are you serious? Because I did mine on here. And so we're freaking out because we literally were planning the same thing. Here are the memes. There's the diabetes. Wilford Brimley intensifies the diabetes. Anyway, so this is how we go, right? And so we realize that once again, guys, we're doing the same thing, not unbeknownst to the other person. So that kind of presented itself as what we should talk about. So we have not talked about our whys. We talked a little bit about our whats, but I just think it's really cool and it's extremely pertinent. So that being said, do you want to jump in?
It's only, honestly though, this might not be for you. It's only pertinent for people who have a body. So
that they want to change, and body, and mind, soul. I mean, I told Jose I'm a holistic coach. So because he agreed to me coaching him for the month because I don't know what I'm doing, but I can get bossy, and I'm going to be doing it too. So
Steven's just like, you've got to do something. So
because he loves you, not because he wants you to change your body.
No. He wants me to be well.
There you are.
Because he hears me every single day. I come home, and so what happens when you have a chronic illness, which I hate to say that I have a chronic illness, oh goodness, you just need to slow down there, sir, in the Cadillac.
We're in a car again.
I think they figured that out.
Fine,
so anyway, what happens when you have a chronic illness is that things that used to be easy or are easy for other people, it's just a little bit more taxing. It takes more out of your body. And so by that I mean, so like I'll get home from work, and what used to be nothing, I would just come home and I'd still have a little bit of energy, things would be fine. Well, now I'm slap exhausted, and my muscles feel like bricks all over me because of the tension, and I ache, and just there's a lot of things. And yes, I know a lot of that has to do with being 45, but a lot of that also has to do with having something living in my body that does not belong there.
Do you have
So
a tapeworm?
I wish I could lose some weight if that was.
That's not healthy. I'm just saying.
Well, it
There's
works
people
for
that go
some
to Mexico
people.
and get those things on purpose.
It works for some people.
Anyway.
So, anyway, I have got to, and so Steven has noticed that, you know, every day I come home, my feet really, really hurt. Is the air?
I
not
took it off for this
working
because
well?
it's no. Because my eyes are watering, but I'm hot.
Oh,
'Cause
it
it's
is
blowing in my
warm.
eyeballs.
It is warm. Anyway, my feet hurt a lot more than they should, and that's just a problem with diabetes. Your feet are like the first things to go besides your eyesight. So anyway, and that's not a doctor that said that. It's just someone who deals with it. But anyway, so there's some things I need to do, and I've been on this journey for almost 3 years trying to figure it out. And what ends up happening is I get on these plans, and then 2 weeks in, I'm like, it's not working. Screw this. I'm done. Where's the chocolate cake? I need more diabetes. And so if I could stick with anything for longer than 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure I could probably kill this thing. But I am one of those people that intensity just kind of rules my life a little bit. And you know, the intensity is I see my blood sugar going down and I'm motivated to keep going. But when I don't see the blood sugar going down, I'm like, this is pointless. Just quit. Let's just stop. And I will give myself 1,000 billion trillion excuses of why I should stop. And so I'm going to, you and I both have decided independently, unbeknownst to each other, that we are going to give it the month of September.
Do you remember the 21st of... Well, I don't know. We'll see. Talk to us on September 22nd and ask us if we remember the 21st.
No, mine would be like the 8th or 9th.
We'll see.
I'm a quick quitter. I'm either not going to quit at all, or I'm going to quit real fast. I'm a quick quitter.
Quick quitter.
That's not anything to brag about. So anyway, why
You're winning. Sorry.
Why are-
You're winning at the quick quitting. Why am I doing what I'm doing?
what are you doing? Why are you doing?
Okay, so what I'm doing is, honestly, my entire adult life, I've been overweight. And so I've had an unhealthy relationship with food. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love the science behind cooking and baking. I love just creating things. Like, that's where I get to express my creativity. And then I'm a chronic taster. I taste it all. And then I want to eat it, you know, because it tastes good. So that passion combined with unhealthy coping mechanisms for the emotional things in my life just result into just being overweight. I mean, I just consume way too much. And so I've done all the diets, all the things, and I'm just not, I don't stick with it. Probably 8 years ago, I lost about 65 pounds.
Dang.
And yeah, girl, I was looking good. I was looking really good. So, but anyway, then there was a crisis in my family, and you know, it all plus more came back on. And then I lost a little more weight, and then I got pregnant with Elijah, and I'm still holding on to that baby weight 3.5 years later. So what we did, me and Jose, probably, it was 3 months. So 2 months ago, we signed up for this thing, and this is not an advertisement, but it's a really cool program. It's called Healthy Wage.
Yeah.
And you wage money, you bet money that you can lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time. And then it's all official. You go to official weigh-ins and stuff like that. So I decided, because I'm an idiot and I was sick and tired of being overweight and I needed the motivation, I took, I think it was $300 of our money for taxes, and I bet that I would lose 30 pounds in 90 days, in 3 months. And so what that means is that, and if you beat that, or if you match that, or if you hit that goal, then they give you a certain percentage back. So I bet $300 when I lose that weight, I will get $961 back. So that money was just sitting in savings, earning interest, right, but not a ton, but I'm going to triple my money by making that. Not only did I do that and I started out really great, but I also talked my husband into it. So he bet $200, I think, and when he hits his goal, I think he also has to lose about 25 pounds, then he gets like $450 back. So when we hit this goal, and our end date is like October 1st.
How much do you have to lose still?
Well, I started having to lose 30.
Now you need to lose 40?
I have to lose 35.
That's my life.
Anyway,
It's my life.
so the crap has hit the fan, and I'm like, Lord, what is it? What is it? And the thing about it is, okay, I know me. Just like, we heard about Shannon. I know me, and so I am very money motivated, for one. Number two, it's not just about the money. It's about, like, our family. Like, I took our money, and that wasn't the smartest decision at all. And I did it, and I was going to tell no one, and now I'm telling the entire world, so just whatever it is.
Or the 5 listeners we have. Hey, guys.
We have 1 million listeners every week.
Oh,
Watchers.
yes.
So anyway, I'm just kind of like, I'm scared a little bit, like, because I don't want to lose my family's money. I'm not doing anything unhealthy. I'm not gonna go taking laxatives or binging and purging or like starving myself. You can, but you shouldn't. We're just gonna do it. And I know, historically, I know I can lose weight fast. Like the first probably 15 will come off super easy. It's that's not great. I am fully prepared that if we don't hit that deadline, then that's okay. But what I'm doing is when we get into those healthy habits, I know not all of them will stick because we're being drastic for this month, but I know some of them will. And so Jose agreed before knowing the details that I would be allowed to set what we're doing. So we're, and it's holistic. So we will be getting 8 hours of sleep every night. We have no screens after 9 p.m.
Ooh,
We are working on our mental, like there's some audiobooks and some podcasts and things and I wrote all this out. You guys saw it on the phone. Drinking a gallon of water a day. We are exercising, but not heavy weightlifting because we don't want to bulk up and put on that muscle weight yet. We just want to shed fat and water. So there's going to be a lot of walking, running, those kinds of things.
Get that cardio.
That's what I'm saying. But so it's just, we are starting on Tuesday because Monday's Labor Day and my sister-in-law is coming down to stay with us. And so that's what it is. But I know that there's more to it. So God has really been working on me in my head. Because what would happen is, and this is probably just going on forever, but I would use food to reward myself, to punish myself, and then when I would eat the thing, then I'd feel guilty about it, and then there's an emotional roller coaster, and then I'd put on weight, or the pants wouldn't fit anymore, and all of a sudden I'm a bad person, and I'm a big, fat, huffalump elephant that can't fit through the door. Like, those are the things. Or I try to run, and my legs are burning, and it's because of whatever. Like, this horrible self-talk. And so at the end of this, the money is a motivator, yes. But I know that things have to change in my mind, and I know that God is with me. I know that, He's good, and we'll be fine with the taxes. If we don't get the dollars back, then that's okay. But right now, if we do get it, that's a huge motivator for me. And so in detailing our plan, I was like, oh, we need to work in rewards. And I'm like, no. The end is a reward. Like, the money is a reward. If we don't get it, then
Not having diabetes.
Yeah, there you go. Not having
That's
diabetes.
a reward.
Or just having our kids see that both of us are committed to just trying to change ourselves. And, if I want to stay how I am, I'm going to keep doing the things that I've always done, which haven't served me well, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's the quick rundown of what I'm doing. And there's so much more.
But the motivation behind it is that we only have one body. Only one. And this is the house that God has given us.
Welcome to my house.
I love them. Mm-hmm. They have the best songs ever.
Lowrider.
Anyway.
This is our only house that God's given us. This is God's house.
This is God's house, y'all. Anyway, and so we have to steward it very, very well. And if you don't believe that, then find someone who is 55, 65, that's fairly young, especially to a 45-year-old. And if they are in poor health, then you can learn some lessons. Because I know some people that, they're pretty young, and yet they are going through some really bad health things. And I do not want to be young. Now, there are some things you cannot, they just happen. You break your leg and it never goes back to normal, that's not on you. If you get cancer or something like that, is not on you. But I know for me, with the diabetes, I've been working real hard for 45 years to get this. I mean, it has taken a lot of sugar to get here. It's taken a lot of bread, a lot of pasta. I love me some cinnamon rolls. I just love anything that is sugary and sweet, and and I know that it's bad for me. if you don't know sugar and grains are bad for you, let me just tell you, they're bad for you. And so anyway, I want to steward this body well because God has things for me to do. I have a charge to keep. I have things that He has for me that I cannot do if I remain sick. And I want to make sure that I am doing what I can and walking in obedience. So actually, you and I both read a book like 89 years ago, Thin Within.
Yeah.
And it talked about the whole premise of
Not
the
together.
book.
We read it separately.
We didn't even know each other. And how many people have heard of Thin Within? Like 10
12.
people.
Yeah.
See?
10 plus 11, 12. So 12 people.
And so anyway, the whole premise of the book, and I don't know that I agree with everything in it now that I've learned about, you know, diet and all that kind of stuff. But the premise of the book is that God's given us this body. And what we end up doing is we junk it up. And she uses the metaphor of the temple. The temple back in, I'm sorry, I'm about to sneeze. I'm so sorry. But if I squish my nose, I won't have to sneeze. Okay, there, I took care of that.
We should have had a commercial break right then.
So anyway, back to you, Janice.
Panera. For all your diabetic needs.
So anyway, I was talking about the temple and how beautiful and ornate it was and how God took time to give instructions on how to beautifully craft this temple. Gorgeous, just like us. And then what ended up happening? It got defiled. It got destroyed just over time through being ransacked, through all the things which we do to ourselves, to our own temple. You know, here I go ransacking my body with a box of donuts or, you know, whatever it is. Let's be honest, it's brownies. But anyway, I almost knocked the camera off the thing. So anyway, we defile our temple. And then, you know, we're wondering why we're walking around sick and overweight and tired, or, you know, and it's because we're not taking care of the temple. And I confess that as sin. I confess it as sin. I have not done what I need to do in order to take care of myself so that I can do the things that God has called me to do. Instead, when God has called me to do things, I feel ill-equipped because I'm tired or I hurt or, you know, something like that. And so, anyway, I just want to give my body back to God, let Him have it. And then if He chooses to allow my body to heal through diet and exercise, then and stress reduction, because stress makes you hold on to whatever. If it's fat, if it is hormones, if it is sugar, if it is whatever, stress will make you hold on to it, and you cannot get rid of it unless you learn to relax. And so I've got to learn some relaxation techniques. But those are the 3 ways that I'm going to do that. It's through diet, exercise, and stress relief.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to really be looking to Jesus for that.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about confessing it as sin, and of course I interpret that. I look at that through my lens, and my sin related to food is really honestly just giving into the temptation, you know. So I will set out, you know, I'm going to have a healthy breakfast, I'm not going to snack, I'm just going to have lunch and then dinner, and then I'm going to quit snacking at 8 p.m., right? Well, then, of course, that's the day that, you know, the kids are losing their minds, you know, I've got strife with my mom, I'm supposed to be doing this, that, and the other, I've got all this expectation on my, and all this stuff gets worked up, and I'm feeling it, the stress or whatever, and then it's just like, in that moment, I was gonna have, you know, the whatever for lunch, but then in that moment I just start eating whatever
because I deserve
and
it,
keep eating it because I'm hungry and I'm shaky and I don't feel well, and I'm gonna do this stuff, and instead of just taking a moment and pausing and asking God, you know, just reminding myself of the presence of the Holy Spirit in that moment, I turn to food to make me feel better. I turn to, you know, I just give in, or I go straight mindless. I just don't even think about it, and next thing I know, I'm eating the thing that I'm, you know, that we have in the house, for one, and so we normally don't keep stuff in the house, but it always finds its way into our house, you know, and so then I just rely on that food, and then I feel guilty. So the way that sin does, we all know, it tempts us, and we succumb to it, and then it condemns us. Then the enemy uses it to condemn us, and that's where I go over and over again. So then in my guilty phase of feeling guilty, then I'll go try to run it off, or I'll try to go, up my weights at the gym, or go do something stupid and then hurt myself, and the whole time I'm tearing myself apart in here.
Yeah.
And there's there's no God in that. I'm not relying on him for anything, and that's a straight up sin. That's where I'm at, and it sucks. It freaking sucks, and I'm tired of it. So I know for me, this journey's starting up here, and it's been rolling around in here for a while, long before the stupid bet that I made with the money. But I know that he's doing a thing. You're talking about you hurt. So just yesterday I get out of bed and like my shoulders hurt and I'm just kind of like achy and all this stuff. Granted, I started running again, so I'm feeling it when I get out of bed. And so Jose's like, yeah, well, I just think a lot of that's kind of with age. Well, I'm 37, and I was kind of snarky to him, but I was like, no, it's not age. It's the fact that I'm 65 pounds overweight. And it just hung there because I knew, this is not a revelation to me, and maybe I never have said it like that to him, or maybe he was struck by the passion or the aggression behind it. But I know where I'm at, and I know where I need to move. But the thing is like, I can sit here and whine about it and complain and hate the way that I look and not look at myself in mirrors, or I can freaking do something about it. So that's what I'm doing, and I just think it's so ironic that we're doing it together. And so we have to invite you along, not necessarily to lifestyle change, but you can. Even that phrase is so cliche these days, but you are the only one that can change your life. No one can change it for you. You can gripe and complain and blame your kids and your husband and your job and all the things, but at the end of the day, it's your choice that you make. So if you decide to have a cinnamon roll, have a cinnamon roll, and don't guilt yourself for it. One cinnamon roll will not put 35 pounds on you. Yeah. It's the habits that you do.
It's the
so
habits.
That's where we're going. And anybody and everybody knows you do something for 21 days and it becomes a habit. Well, we're going to do something for
90 days and it's a lifestyle.
Anyway, we're doing the thing, and I just love.
Shut your mouth.
I love that God loves us so much that He's not going to let us do it alone. There's nothing worse than loneliness. You can be surrounded by people and still be lonely.
Yeah.
Or you can be alone and not be lonely. Yeah. And so, anyway, it's just a cool thing. So come along.
Yeah.
So a fantastic voyage.
2 things that I am embracing during this period of time. The first one is, and Tasha totally hit on it, is that everything starts in the mind. All of this starts in the mind. You never pick up a donut without rationalizing it first of why. Why? Something in us tells us that we deserve it, or we've earned it, or it's always, this is why. This is why I can have this donut. And the thing is again, if it's one donut, it's not going to kill you, but it's the habit. So just remember in your mind that this is where it starts, all the things, how you treat your body. And it might not even be a diet issue for you. I don't know what it is. That thing that you go to when you're stressed, that thing that you go to when Jesus is calling you to sit in Him and you're just like trying to distract yourself, mine's food.
Yeah.
And so first thing, all starts in the mind, everything. Second thing, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, because here's the thing. Jesus is not looking at you with a donut going, oh, look at you ransacking my temple. Just look at that. Would you look at it? That's not what He's doing. Instead, His heart is for me. It is for us. It is for our health. He is with us. He is for us, and He is cheering us on all the way. So how dare we go behind Him as He's cheering us on and talk to ourselves like we're freaking idiots? Because we're not.
Yeah.
We're just broken people. And so we are going to love ourselves through this process the way that Jesus loves us. And if we mess up, we are covered in grace.
Yeah.
And when we do well, we're gonna cheer each other on. We're gonna cheer ourselves on, and we are gonna mark it as a good day.
For sure.
So
for sure, we did talk about the topic, what we're going to talk about, and then we will, at the end of this month, we're going to do a big overview, and some of us we're going to be taking notes along the way and just learning, and everything in my experience, everything that I learn or comes to mind, or just paradigm shifts or perspective shifts that I have, everything is going to get documented because I have to write it down, or else it'll just be gone. But then each week we're going to check in.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of the topic,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about it. And
So for the
touch on
next
it.
month, it's not like these are going to be about weight loss. No, but we will check in with you to let you know how we're doing on our journey. And hey, if you're taking a journey of your own in September, it doesn't have to be weight loss
Yeah.
or exercise or anything like that. Any kind of thing that you're dedicating yourself to in the month of September, let us know. Put it on Facebook, put it on our page, comment on our YouTube channel, whatever
Click
it is.
just below us. Click just below us.
I don't know what you just
Yes,
did.
you do. Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Those of you at Church Online, click below me. Click below me. Anyway, go ahead.
Anywho, let us know, because we want to be praying for you. We want to do this as a tribe, as a team. And so one of the things that I've heard over and over and over again since I've been listening to Rachel Hollis is hope is not a strategy. So you can't hope that you're going to lose weight or get rid of diabetes or quit drinking or quit smoking or, quit donutting and it's just going to happen. It doesn't. You have to decide. And after that decision, you have to come up with your goals and your strategy. So anyway, just let us know how we can come alongside of you, pray for you, whatever you're going through. And we're going to close out today with, what are you grateful for?
Yeah. I am grateful for my husband. So he has seen me for a billion years get jazzed up about something, and I just take off like right out the gate, and I'm just 112,000 bajillion percent going after it, and then I fizzle out, and then I move on to the next thing. And he's always supportive and always just like cheering me on, but from the sidelines. Well, this time he's alongside of me, and he knows me, and he knows the way that I am, but he's more of like a long distance runner in this, and I am by far a sprinter in this. So I'm thankful that he's here with me, gonna do it with me. I'd love to have him here one day, maybe just sitting like weirdly in the back, just to interject every now and then. But just my husband, he's just so good. He's so good. So yeah. Anyway, he's super supportive,
That's awesome.
and he can be a jerk sometimes.
He's a pretty nice guy. I was
He
thinking-
can be. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I like Jose. So
I like him. I married him.
whatever.
Yeah, Shannon, hey, what are you grateful for this week?
Well, I'll be honest. I am grateful for new beginnings, and the reason that is because I'll talk about this later, but just a little snippet right now. There was a time when there was a few years there, about a decade ago, where I had a period of time that I was desperate for Jesus. Like, in every breath that I took, I was desperate to see him in every single moment. And it was because that's how I found life. Otherwise, I would have shriveled up and died. I mean, it was an awful, awful season. But yet it was the best season of my life, if that makes any sense. And
Yeah.
I just remember during that season, the situation I was in was just absolutely horrific. But I remember waking up every single morning, and the moment I woke up, I could feel his presence with me. And I just remember saying every single morning, "Good morning, Jesus." And it was just one of those, it's gonna be a great day, even though I was in the trial of my life. And anyway, the trial went away, and I kind of lost that. And I have found myself, I'm not in a major trial outside of getting rid of the diabetes, but anyway, I should stop saying it like that.
I think you should keep saying it like
Anyway.
that, 'cause Wilfred Brimley would be really proud.
He's dead. But anyway,
He can still be proud of you. Sheesh. Quit.
Anyway, so I have found myself finding that new beginning again, and just, first thing in the morning, just good morning, Jesus, and just starting my day with thankfulness and gratefulness about what the day holds. And even if there are things in my day that are not great, there is something that I can be grateful for. And I mean, just like you talking about Jose, I mean, waking up in the morning, just be like, I'm so grateful for my husband. And that was something that I had the opportunity to do the last couple of mornings. Is, you know, it's that good morning, Jesus. And then I roll over and I see this great man laying next to me. And, you know, it's one of those things where I just, you know, and I found myself like putting my hand on his shoulder or something and just trying to just talk to Jesus and just bless him for his day. And that just starts your day out so differently than when you roll over and you wake up and you're like, oh, I gotta do this, this, and this, and I bet you so-and-so is gonna expect this. And we determine our day.
Yep.
We determine our day. And I am so grateful that we get that opportunity, because I am tired of waking up and just being like, well, here we go. You're the worst. You're dead to me.
Anyway.
All right, guys. It may not be fine right now.
It's fine.
It might not be okay.
It's fine.
But eventually, we're going to be
It's
fine.
It's fine, because we're
It's
together, right?
It's fine.
So-
We're in it together.
Yeah. All right. Oh, hold on. Wait. We are on SoundCloud now. Just the audio. So we are our vlogcast. We're working on the podcast aspect of it. I forgot to tell you this, but I've gotten some feedback also that some people can't just sit still and watch for 30 minutes, and that is so me. Like, I told you this from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a watcher. I'm not a sit still and watcher.
I do the dishes.
Yeah, I
and
do the
listen.
thing. So anyway, we are on Facebook. It's fine. We're blogging, you know, separately of these videos, but then also the audio is being pulled out on SoundCloud, and hopefully before next week we'll be on iTunes. I was gonna say YouTunes. On the podcast app. Anyway,
God.
we're a bunch of girls that don't know what we're doing, so it's taking us a little bit
Yeah.
to get going. But anyway, if you are the audio person, and I know you're out there, and I know you're listening, hopefully on SoundCloud.
Help us, sister.
Well,
sisters.
you can listen, but then if you know how to do the thing,
Fix us.
help
Hey,
us.
and also our Facebook page this week is gonna be lit. Do kids say that these days still?
I think it's lit like you light.
Like
a
every
joint.
day there's gonna be something. What?
Yeah, that's where lit comes from. Y'all, she doesn't know. Bless your heart. Oh my gosh. We're just gonna try to, we're gonna express who we are. So we're gonna make posts and share videos and funny pictures and things like that, because not everybody knows us. And the 30 minutes you get a week of us isn't always like, we're not always sitting here lamenting about weight or, you know, whatever. Like we do fun things. Like,
Or do we?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a dance party in my car, and I yell at my kids.
We might send some clips of earlier.
Do it.
All right, guys. It's fine.
It's fine. Bye.
Bye.